everyone, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show how to deploy a simple website in your VM instance in Google Cloud through Apache. In this video I'm going to show a simple website that is my resume. I have created some files that they are in HTML. I'm still working on it, but that's a demonstration. And these two files I'm gonna deploy in my VM instances. I have created the Ubuntu instance in Google Cloud, and is in a running status. As you can see, is in a green, and also it has even an external IP. Before I start working inside the instance, I wanted to say something which is very important. When you create the instance, I have created another video how to create Ubuntu instances. To deploy your website, it's very important to allow your HTTP and HTTPS traffic. So in this way, you can access your instance through your external IP. So we go back to the instance and we do a connection through the browser window. There are different ways how you can deploy your website in your instance. I'm going to show some steps that I have been doing and trying before, and it worked. Maybe when you start working more often, you can understand even how to do it differently and what you can make better for your project. Here I have created documents with the steps how to manage my work. So now I have connected the instance, and the connection is done successfully. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an update. So it's very recommended that the operating system, you always keep it updated. So we write sudo apt, and is performed successfully. Then we have to install the Apache. I have already installed previously, so I don't have to install. But if you are new and you haven't installed in your instance, that's the command that runs in your Ubuntu operating system, and you can install in your instance or in your operating system that you want to deploy your website. Then you have to enable. And we go. To make it easy, I have prepared these documents so it doesn't take too long to run the command, and is enable, and then we start it. We go back to the instance, we run sudo, and we start it. After we have done the process of the configuration and the installation of the Apache, we have to start creating our directories and our files for our website. In different tutorials or in different ways that you can find in the internet, they follow different kind of steps. In this video, I'm going to show how to create a website, a simple website, using and creating your own files, not creating or modifying the default files that comes with when you install the Apache. As you can see here, it says that you have to create a directory that's going to hold our two documents, two files that I have created, one in CSS and one in HTML, that they are very important to run my website. And I'm gonna save in this directory. This directory has to be in a particular path. That is where this is the path of the file that I have to create it. This is the path where it needed to be created. so it can be recognized by the Apache. So the directory that you're going to create, you have to follow the steps. So in this way, they can be recognized by the system as part of your website. So let's try and create the directory. Sudo, then is create a directory, and then is the path where should be saved this directory and the name of your directory. In this name, I'm going to write printziana, and we can go to this path and we can do an ls, and as you can see, there is the file that I created and there is the HTML. There are other tutorials or other videos that they try to modify the default file that comes with when you install Apache, but I would prefer to create my own directory. After you have created the directories, set permissions. It's very important to do the permissions to change the ownership and also to change even to give them permission. So in this way, it can allow you to access and to work normally through your directory. The first command is to change the ownership. So it's gonna allow you to access so we write command. I have been trying to do before I start recording this video, I try another example just to make sure that everything's gonna run correctly, but this time I'm gonna use the name of the directory that I created is different. So I'm going to use printziana, not printziana.conf. And after we run this command, we're going to change the directory permissions and ownership. And then we're going to write the permission. So we're going to make it writable, accessible, and readable. We write sudo. Oh, we don't have printziana. That was from my old project, and here we run even the ownership and the permissions are given to my folder, file, and directory that I have created. Now you can create a file. Depends on if you want to try to do like a simple HTML code. You can open a new file and create an HTML file and write inside. I'm gonna upload my files that I have in the desktop. There are different techniques that you can use to upload files in your instance. When you provision your instance or connect your instance through the browser, it gives an option here to upload the file. So let's choose the file. We go to the desktop, and I have this folder, and I'm gonna upload both of these files. So the upload is done. Let's try to connect again. It's gone. Just to show again, here is the upload file and the download file. These options, when you do the provisioning of your instance through the browser, it can allow you to upload files from your local machine to your instance, or to download files from your instance to the local machine. If we do an ls, they are not uploaded. Let's try again. These two files uploaded. Okay, it shows that they are uploaded. So both of the files are uploaded, and now these files has to be saved in the folder that I have already created. So the directory that I have already created for my site, the printziana one that I had in this location, and I have given all the permissions. So this file I have to copy from this location to send to this location where my directory, where the directory that I have created for my website. So we do sudo copy and we do index.html, and then we write the path where my file should be saved. So now it's sudo, the command is cp is for the copy, index.html is the name of the file that I want to move from this location to move to the new location where I have created my my directory that's going to save all my files. So I run it, and if we go back to the directory, let's copy the other one before we sudo cp styles ccs, and then we copy and we run it. If we go to the location and we see that it's inside, we see that now the files index.html and styles css, they are copied from this location and they are inside the directory that I have created where I have planned and I have created and give all the permissions so I can save the file of my website. So now very important work is done, and now after we have copy paste and after we have saved our HTML code in our directory that we have created, we have to create the virtualHost configuration. This is very important as well. So we now we're gonna tell the Apache where to point for our files, and we have to create a configuration file. The configuration files are saved in this location, and our configuration file has to end with conf. And if we go to this configuration file, to this location, cd, and we copy this location here, and we go here and we do analyze, we see that there are some default configuration files. These default configuration files, actually, there are some configuration files that they allow you when you access your Apache. It's gonna give you the Ubuntu default page. So after we have created and save our website files, we have to do the virtualHost. I have created the configurations here. This is the virtualHost. It is the server admin, server name, and it is very important to specify the document root. This is the document root is where are saved the full path of where your directory with website files are saved, and also there are even error logs that there are like all the other virtual hosts. There are different methods how they do it. Some people they just copy paste the default config or 00 default config, and they run they do the changes and they write the document rules, server admin and server name. But let's try to create from the very beginning. We do nano. Let's go back. Sudo nano. And since we are already in in that location, we don't need to specify the path. And then we write printziana.conf. That is very important. That's the definition. That can understand that .conf is a virtual host file. So we run it, and since I have created here, I can copy and paste. Then we save it. And if we do an ls, we see that we have printziana. If we want to make confirm, we see that the configurations that I have been writing, they are saved. I quit. So now I have created my directory and saved my website files. I have created a virtual host, and also now I have to enable my site and to disable the default and other sites. So I'm gonna go here. Let's see. I'm gonna enable my site. Sudo. Let's go here. So it's sudo a2 and site. Let's write sudo n2 and site, and it's printziana, not printziana.conf. Printziana.conf was my other example that I was doing before recording this video, and I enable it. Then I have to disable the default configuration file. That's sudo a2 this site 00, which was the configuration file of the Apache, and is disabled. I can run a configuration test just to make sure that the config test, just to make sure that my syntax is right correctly and is okay. And then we do a restart. After we have restarted, we can go here to our instance, and the configuration are done in our instance. If we click or if we copy our IP address, we open, we're going to see that through the IP address, I can access my my resume. This is something to mention, that we still don't have any protocols, or there are some further steps that you can, if you want to advance your website, like giving a domain name and also generating even some certifications that allows your website to run in HTTPS. But since it's just a demonstration example, this is the basic stuff that helps you to run your simple website. In this case, is my resume website through the Apache. These are just for demonstration reason. I hope it was helpful. Feel free to write for any kind of concerns or any kind of issue that you want to share.